Hey guys, I took really big advantage of the Home Depot Christmas sales and put together another small toolkit. In life you can never have enough of these. I keep my good tools, some of my old, high quality American made stuff in the garage, in my toolbox, and that's where it stays, because they are good American made high quality stuff. I have another toolkit that's currently in my car. I have another toolkit that is in my wife's car, and this is really like a fourth toolkit for me. So quality wasn't the biggest consideration. What I really wanted was something inexpensive that I could throw around, that I could use in the house, out of the house, bring it to a friend's house, that kind of thing, where I don't have to worry about losing my good stuff or breaking my good stuff, because people just really do horrible things with tools, guys, and there's no way, you're using my, 30-year-old Craftsman polished, full polish, extra long combination wrenches to beat on your 1988 Corolla. Sorry. So I picked this bag up Home Depot, $4, and with the Christmas stuff, it's a small, I kept all the tags on. 10-inch tool bag with $4. These are pretty heavy duty, guys. I've used these around the shop. They're pretty heavy duty. They're not going to last you a lifetime, but enough for a small toolkit. Yep. So pick this thing up. It's got that nice kind of wire rim, so when it opens, it stays open, and it will definitely serve the purpose for this. And at $4, you're not going to do any better. $7 for the two of these. So you're talking $3.50 a piece. These will help you out with a good portion of things you're going to have issues with. How about $7 a piece for a metric and standard wrench set? And I've used these Husky wrenches before, guys. They're not terrible. I mean, like I said, if you use them every day and you beat on them, they're not going to last. But for that once in a while job, these things are perfect. If you lose them and break them, it's no big deal. They got a lifetime warranty, and plus you're not breaking stuff you can't replace. Some of my old made in the USA Craftsman stuff, I can't replace it. They're going to replace it with like shit Chinese replacements, and that's just not going to happen. So $7 a piece, guys. What is that, like less than $1 a wrench? Yeah, I'll do that any day of the week. And then last but not least, got one of these pass-through ratchet sets in 3/8 that comes with a pretty good series of metric and standard sockets. And notice, guys, I am going with metric and standard. Now, my car kit is in metric because my car is in metric. My wife's kit is in metric because her car is in metric. This kit, being it may travel and go to different places, maybe I'm helping someone work on a car, I want both. So that is one consideration I did make, is to have a system and a setup that would allow both metric and standard. So this one here, the 3/8. 3/8 is all I need for car, pretty much, especially for travel. So you can see it's got, you're talking 10 through 17. That's all I use on my car. There's really nothing else on my car. My wife's car uses an 8mm to open the panel to get to her oil filter, but that's covered in her car. I don't need this for her car. She's already got a toolkit in her car, but this covers everything I would need in my car, and 90% of vehicle stuff, it's going to be useful for this. I mean, if you're doing brakes, guys, roadside brake job, maybe you have a problem with the car, that 10 through 17 is pretty much going to cover it. Most of the time it's either 14 or 17, so you got that covered. This pass-through, haven't played with it too much because I haven't taken it out, guys, because I wanted to show it to you in the packaging, because it does help. I know before I've done videos, guys, on the Home Depot stuff, and people are like, oh, well, which one is it? How do I find it? So I do like to be able to show these in the packaging so you can actually see what they are if you are looking to buy them from Home Depot. So there that is. This pass-through isn't terrible. I mean, it seems to have a pretty smooth action at all. Some of the Home Depot wrenches, like I said, they're not professional grade. If you're banging on them every day, they're not going to last, but for the occasional job, they work great. This setup here eliminates the need for deep wells, so I can get away with just these. I don't need deep well sockets. I don't need to have a whole bunch of different sockets in the car. This is going to cover 90% of my problems. So And this was 19, guys. Originally it was like 29 or so. Went down to 19 just after Christmas. So I picked that guy up. So yeah, I mean, this is going to cover, I'd say, 90% of my problems. 90%, if I throw this stuff into a box or into this bag, take off to a friend's house, I'm going to have almost everything covered. Now, what I still need to fill in is I need to get a screwdriver set. I need to get some locking pliers. Maybe like a small pipe wrench. And channel locks, a few things like that, but not much else, guys. I got the bread and butter done, and you're talking about 15, 22, 25, about 40 bucks. I'm about 3/4 of the way done. So in the end, it's going to be about 75 bucks, and I'll be able to put together a really decent kit that'll cover most roadside emergencies, most household repairs and things like that. I may add a small 1/4-inch socket set if I find one cheap. The 1/4-inch will cover lawnmowers and stuff like that, as well as household things, putting together furniture and all that. So yeah, okay, so I'll add 1/4-inch socket set, screwdriver set, some channel locks, pliers. I'll definitely need needle nose pliers, maybe some wire cutters, few other things, guys. I'm most of the way there, but you can put together, guys, really cheap kits for these sort of things. Now, a lot of times I see people go and they buy those like pre-made home repair kits, and they're like 50 bucks, and you get like a shitty hammer, a shitty screwdriver, and a bunch of shitty stuff. Now, this stuff is shitty. Don't get me wrong, but it's a mile ahead of the shitty stuff that's in those other shitty kits. So, like I said, the Husky stuff is not terrible. It's, if you're really wrenching on it and you're really, going crazy on this stuff, it's gonna break. But for lawnmowers, home repair, stuff like that, you're really not gonna have too tremendous an issue unless something's really, really rusted on there hard, and you're really wrenching on things and pushing these things beyond their capabilities. But, overall, I've broken very little Husky stuff. In fact, I've broken more high-end American stuff than I have broken Husky. And I've used them, quite a bit. Like I said, I oftentimes do baby my American-made tools. Because some of them just can't be replaced at this point, so I try not to use them unless I really, really need them. So I do tend to use the Husky stuff as, as the banger stuff. It's going to someone's house. I don't have to worry about losing it, breaking it, leaving it, whatever, or even if people have to borrow tools, guys, this is a great loaner set. I do, help a lot of people out, especially younger guys. I know people who are just getting started out, they buy old piece of crap cars. I got no problem helping people out. I like working on cars. I like fixing things, and it's that whole learning process. So having a kit like this, you can run, go to, use, even give as a relative, it's way better than what you're ever going to get in those pre-made kits. By far. And if you're really smart and plan things out, you can really do this economically for like $50 to $100 and have some decent mid-grade, homeowner grade stuff that'll get you through most of life's problems.